have in some perfect form, but as a cognitive capability, kind of a skill that we develop as we mature. And of course it takes some work, and some people develop it more than others. I mean, some people are able to plan longer, they're able to delay gratification, they're less impulsive, they're more patient, and so on. So there's a whole sort of suite of metacognitive skills, psychologists refer to as executive function, which vary between people.
And if we think about this, the desire to make our own decisions, you talked about babies, and even in babies, we can observe this burning desire to make decisions for themselves very early on, whether it's not opening their mouth when they're supposed to eat something, or or whatever it is, or when you're trying to like wrangle a baby into a car seat, you know.
Yes, they are willful, right? Yeah, they're willful little things. And that will emerges, right? I mean, and there is, you know, I haven't thought about it in that way before, but you're absolutely right. There is like a drive, right, to have behavioral autonomy. There's a drive, not just do things, but I think to feel like we're in control of doing them, and that our own feeling of autonomy is a really important thing, and that can be clearly an adaptive sort of faculty as well, right? It's not just that we can act in the world, it's that we have some awareness of whether we are the ones in charge of what we're doing in the world, and if we're not, then we may seek conditions in which we've restored the level of autonomy that, you know, that we think we should have, basically. Not in an overt psychological way necessarily. You know, babies aren't thinking, oh, I want to have more autonomy, but there may nevertheless be an impulse there that's, you know, somehow configured into the brain that it's a good thing to be in a situation where you're maximizing your control over the environment and yourself.
In terms of evolution, what is the ultimate benefit of us having evolved to have this capacity to think about our thinking, to reevaluate decisions? It doesn't always seem to benefit the survival of the species.
Yeah, well, certainly there can be times when overthinking doesn't pay off, right? And in fact, it's particularly why so much of our behavior is actually habitual, right? So we've done the thinking already. We're in some situation that's really familiar. We don't need to think again. It's actually not adaptive to spend any time thinking or worrying about what to do when we already have some tried and true method that we should apply or some action that we should do. But there are other circumstances where we're in a really novel environment, and I think this is what differentiates humans from other organisms, is that we have this behavioral flexibility that is incredibly general. We can really apply it to very novel scenarios, and that means that in those scenarios we can think, okay, I haven't been in this particular scenario before, but I've been in one like it, and maybe there's a similarity here, maybe there's an analogy, maybe I should apply that reasoning, but at the same time, we want to know, okay, well, how certain am I, you know, how confident should I be in that? And I think the other thing that is really key in our evolution in particular is that being able to be aware of our own thoughts and our reasons for doing things allows us to tell somebody else. And this is really key because humans are a hyper-social species. It's really the secret to our success. We don't get far alone, we get far together. And the benefits of metacognition, of being able to think about thoughts and reasons, extend to being able to think about someone else's thoughts and reasons, and to be able to tell them about your thoughts and reasons. And